All right.
First clip of the drip drip.
Live, boys.
Woo! Rip and dip.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the drip.
Rip and dip. Am I coming through? Rip and dip. Imagine that's how we do our mic check. Rip and dip.
Yeah.
These rips coming through. Rip and dip.
These rips coming through. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the drip. Today we got a lot going on. We're talking about a lot. This is the first ever episode that we are going to do pre-recorded, Amish. No more live. They've been killing our channel with the live stuff. We're trying out the VODs with more like traditional podcasts, I guess. So we're going to see if you guys like it. Do you hate it? Congregation, you got to tell us in the comments below. Leave a like. We got to spread the good news, okay? So
spread the good news. Spread the good news. The congregation is thriving. 30,000 subscribers.
Okay, Amish. Talk to people about our first topic is tell them this is your story.
The first topic, scroll that guy up a little bit. This pure evil guy behind me. Basically, this guy is he used to work with what a beautiful man. This is pure evil. This man on the screen right now.
What a beautiful man.
Pure evil. But so like that's why he needs it. That's why he needs the beauty. But this guy worked with Kamala Harris. He's like a big consultant, Washington consultant, and basically he is creating a new firm, right, that helps CEOs avoid getting canceled. He's a cancel coach, or I would say he's a cancel consultant, because basically for high-end clientele, for the top of the top, dude. I mean, he was part of a group of Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign veterans.
Yeah,
he is one of Kamala Harris's campaign. So this is a big shot, okay? I think he's associated with C Street, which is one of the biggest consulting firms in Washington. And this guy, John Haynes, CEO, he's bringing out the new program. He's cancel consulting.
So he's basically like, guys, it's a tough market out there, and people want to know where Chips Ahoy stands on the voter ID laws. I mean, what is he saying?
Yes.
Is that basically what it is? Like, we got to get woke, boys. We got to get woke.
Yeah. Woke consulting. Big money looks like. Incredible. Big billions of dollars in woke consulting. So this guy comes in. You get called. You're Chris D'Elia. Some girl sends the email out, right? This guy sits you down and he says, "Hey, where's your mom? Get her on the call. We need a video of her saying that you were a beautiful child." That's number one. And you're like, that's it. He comes in, gets to work. You got to have your mom. You got to have your mom saying some kind of, "My son would never." Also, you know what this guy does? Remember the last time we had a clip of Harvey Weinstein? It's just like exaggeratedly like first he's going with the crutches or whatever, like the little walker when he's going to court because now he's busted and he's like, I'm so frail. If you give me a really bad decision, I might have a heart attack. I don't know. He has to walk in and out of the court like silly like that. How does he learn? How does he train? Right. John Haynes can teach that. Haynes can come in.
This guy had John Haynes. I mean, Weinstein had John Haynes. I don't know if D'Elia did, but Weinstein did for sure. Because
D'Elia's still up and running. So
he is though. He kind of came back, and you know what? I think some of the people ended up retracting some of the stuff, but I don't think I think maybe he didn't get enough of the consult. He didn't have enough. You
don't think so? It almost sounds like the consultant came in a month or two in. Like he was completely out and he's like, all right, send the 10 million.
I will say I have noticed a striking, like Chris D'Elia is a total family man now. It's striking. Before, it was like you never saw it. Now,
dude,
everything,
the wife?
The entire brand is like wife, family, da-da-da.
Yeah, I know.
God bless you. Is that John? What is his name? Haynes?
Is that the handiwork of John Haynes? This is the kind of work he would do. He says, "Where's the family?"
He goes, "All right. First of all, you're a family man now, Chris. Gotta tell you. Man. I don't know why we're targeting Chris D'Elia here.
I don't know. He comes in. He's like, "Look, I know he cheated on you, but listen, we're gonna just chill. We're gonna be a family now. It's all gonna be happy. That's what. Look, man. He looks like he's doing great. It's a happy family now." There's always redemption. You know what I'm saying? There's always redemption. Honestly, I don't think Chris D'Elia hired this guy. I'm not as concerned about Chris D'Elia hiring this guy as I am about
who are you concerned
elites. Like I'm talking about big players in the game, in like Washington, in Hollywood, like a Weinstein. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to downplay what D'Elia did.
He's like Alan Dershowitz or whatever, Dershowitz or whatever.
This is the next generation Dershowitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he goes,
Dershowitz
no matter what you did, I can get you out of it. Like, hey, you know what? Okay, so Papa John's said the N-word like 10 times. Hey, all you got to say is tax the rich 20 times and we bing bang, we got you, okay?
Bing bang, God is great. You're fine. You're fine.
Fine, baby.
You're fine. Call mom. We need a statement from mom, though. Like, just imagine you're getting a call, like, statement from mom. I need a statement from mom. He was a beautiful little boy. They just need the statement. He's like, okay, we got it. That's good tape. We got it. Let's go. Let's get that on the internet. Let's start the apology roll. You know what I mean? Like, that's this guy, man. Big firm.
Gosh, look,
and he's saving them a lot of money.
Did you see this? They're backed by Blackstone, which is, you know, BlackRock kind of thing. It's like one of the biggest. What?
So tell me, Blackstone.
C Street is an emerging competitive market financing from Antera Capital. Okay, a hedge fund that's a hedge fund backed by Blackstone. A sign that big financial firms view the diversity field as a growing industry. That's how you know it's gone too far, dude. When they literally say, "Hey, this is a hot industry, dude. We need people."
Yeah.
Hey, listen, people who like inclusive politics, they also need to eat chips. And if Lay's wants to get behind that, Frito-Lay's wants to go ahead and throw their hat in the ring.
Yeah, and say I'm in. Can you imagine, like, they're doing a market cap analysis and they're like, of the wealthy, we've estimated 85% of them have an assault case. Who are they going to call? They're calling us. It's like they probably have a market cap analyzation where, because to get the investment from these law firms, from these firms,
hardcore business plan.
Yeah, you need a business plan, and somewhere there's a calculation of like, here's all the billionaires, 92% sexual assault. Okay? Yeah. And we got the evidence, and we could leak it. We could leak it. Call them the next day. Like that's where it goes to the next level. And they're lawyers.
Not that we're to leak it, but you gotta do this now. Wait, what's this? The woke. Okay, look at this too, Amish. But there's also a risk of backlash for so-called woke capitalism. So they're basically saying, look, we can save you from one side, but then you might get the backlash. You might get the backlash police. So we'll walk you out of that.
Dude, who, like, the next cases when someone walks away, every time I see Weinstein shaking his ass, just doing that walk. Well, I'm just an old man.
We got to pull that up. Every time we mention that, I feel like we have to pull it up for the people who don't know about that legendary performance.
It's such a good little strut.
This guy was a killer, a Cold Stone killer.
Yeah,
Harvey Weinstein.
Awful.
Before he was back when he was making movies, none of this happened. This is Harvey Weinstein, right? People don't know the joke. This is Harvey Weinstein after Haynes got a hold of him here.
Look at that. Dude, he was cutthroat back in the day. He was cutthroat.
But people don't understand. That's taught. Like, that's like they get Harvey in the room. They're like, hey,
that's
Smile's too nice. Hey, you're not hunched over enough. You need to act contrite.
Dude, it's like they're doing makeup. They're doing like horror movie makeup on him. They're putting the shadows in. It's like he's not even that bad. He's like,
oh, Judge, I don't know if I can handle it.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just an old man. I don't know.
It's like Cosby. You know, Cosby's out.
I know Cosby went super. Cosby might have had some training too, because he was looking kind of.
They were petitioning the court. They were going to the court, and they got out. I think they got. I don't know if they got early release, but they were petitioning the court, basically like, oh, we don't know if he's gonna make it. Yeah. If you keep him in jail, you're killing this poor man. He's just an innocent old granddad who wants to go back to his family. He ain't gonna harm nobody.
He's not gonna harm anyone. That's what they're telling him. No, you gotta go. It's time you must suffer. And, you know, the suffering is inflicted. I know a lot of people get mad that like these guys got off the hook, but I do feel like this is like, imagine being a big man alpha, dude. This guy, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, after they did Good Will Hunting, great movie. They wrote it themselves. It's banger movie. This guy, he was a distributor. So they were like, they heard that like they're making millions of dollars. So they called some company They called the company. They're like, hey, how come we can't get paid more? So this guy said, oh yeah, meet me in a hotel room. I'll pay you more. So they go to the hotel room, and this guy, I don't know what the story is. He either came and threatened them. He's like, you pieces of shit, tell me. You don't fucking tell me more money. You shut up. You kiss my feet, you piece of shit. Like he screamed at them. Like he's done shit like that. You know what I mean? And even
yeah.
He's a monster. Yeah.
So imagine being that alpha, and then you get brought down low.
This is a suffering for him when that shaking his ass, because this is you're seeing from the front. What's really demasculating is like to train it properly. They made him like wag his ass, dude, and it's not manly. Let's just say.
So you think Haney's getting behind him? He's like, hey, we need some movement, otherwise you're going in for a long time.
Haney said, after what you did, shake that ass. That's what Haney said.
Yo, the goal
I need more.
Look at this. How it works. C Street plans to use its diverse contacts to help CEOs and companies make changes in their corporate culture and hiring practices. The goal is to immunize companies and top executives from the threat of cancellation or employee backlash. Wow.
Wow, dude.
This is the part that I want to know. They advise in traditional crisis communication. That's where you've had the crisis, right? You've had the crisis. How do you respond? Just actually breaking news. There's a guy from Google, black employee, and somebody saw him riding his bike on campus, and they said he looked suspicious. So they called the campus, like police, I guess, whatever, security on him.
Classic.
He basically got pulled over. He's like, what? I'm a person. They made him like check his ID. They took away his ID. And so anyway, it's blowing up as a story right now. It's like, oh, this is what it's like to be black in Google, whatever. You can bet that Google's going to have some, response where now if you're white, it's illegal to ride your bike on campus.
Hold on. Let me pull a little cancel consultant on you.
Yeah.
I think I got the cancel consultant.
What?
I think
Haney, what do we do with Google? We need help.
Look, I think this cancel consultant gets on the phone and he goes, who was the guy who called it in? Oh,
David,
South Asian. And he goes, you're done. And it was like, they're like, wait a minute. It wasn't even a white guy. Did a white guy call the cops or did an Indian guy call the cops? Because that's, I heard that there's a lot of Asian, East and South Asian working at Google. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that could just get you right off the hook. So if you get one of them,
you're saying that's not a story then. After that, it's not a story.
After that, it's over. Then it becomes too sad. Nobody wants to touch that. Nobody wants to go through on dude. Nobody wants to cancel a brown guy anyway. Maybe you know what I mean. Especially if it's a girl, no one wants to cancel a brown. You know what I mean? Like it goes against the cancel culture politics. One's attacking the other. It would cancel out or something.
Interesting. I don't know. Yeah. Either way, it is. I felt horrible for the guy. That sucks. But I wonder. I just wonder what that guy would have done. Let's see. Let me pull it up real quick.
Let's see it. This is great
right
breaking
by
news,
Google's
dude.
campus. Somebody called security on me because they didn't believe I was an employee.
Rude. Come on. Even
what are the cancel consultants going to say? Listen, it was inevitable. It is funny. It is funny that it came out of Harris's campaign because wasn't she kind of canceled herself? Didn't Tulsi Gabbard have that hard rip on her? Like, hey, you just put a bunch of black people in jail.
Yeah,
I guess Harris won in the end. Kamala Harris won in the end, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that's that, dude. That's the resume.
I guess is that
they go. Yo, right, we put her. Kamala Harris is the vice president.
Yeah, dude. No, of course. It's like they go. Yeah, she was in trouble, and look where she is now.
Right, and Tulsi Gabbard never gonna win.
She got Haney'd, dude. She got Haney'd.
She got Haney'd. Yeah, that's it. Don't fuck with John Haney. Doesn't he look so evil now? Like you can just see him coming into the office. And he just goes he tells you the 5 things to do. Like he said, okay, get your mom. We need a good camera with his mom. Get a lighting crew over there. Okay, get a lighting crew and film crew and camera.
We
crew
need your statement on the Texas abortion law ASAP from your Twitter account. Okay.
Yeah. They take over. They come in. They're like,
Pringles is like, are you sure about that? He's like, damn it, this is the 21st century, dude. We need your stance.
They go. You know what they do? He comes in. He goes, all the passwords. We don't start working until I have full access.
So all social media. All social media, bud.
All social media. We need all the passwords. Okay. Taking that over. $4 million retainer. This. No, $40 million retainer. 40.
Come on. Yeah.
You could build 4 studios on one cancel. Damn it.
I'm in the wrong job. That's a great line of work, dude. I got to get in that line of work. That sounds very interesting.
I mean, you're saving someone's life. You're saving a rich person's life. That's your job.
Every time, yeah. Every time John Haney gets a donation, he saves one rich man's life.
That's it.
It's beautiful. Wow. Well, what a story from a beautiful, pure evil person.
Pure evil, dude.
I love that. I love that. Pure evil, but also a beautiful person.
Well, they need it. It's like that California evil. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like Gavin Newsom. Like, we were saying Gavin Newsom, he's got skeletons in the closet. Something. He did something. Even Rose McGowan. Is it Rose McGowan?
Yeah.
Yeah, she came out with the rip.
Yeah.
Like, he's got stuff. He's got issues.
Well, he's got Haney.
But he does. Okay, Haney is like, he's already backing. Like, this is our ruling class now. They're going to conquer us. Mm-hmm. It's like they made Kamala Harris vice president. And it's almost like such a political tool because whoever they like just never gets canceled. Only other team gets canceled. You got Fauci. Like, I'm not saying he's working on Fauci, but like, let's say the bang ass move of like, let's make Fauci 2 times sexiest man alive. That's coming from this guy, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That press release is coming from him for sure.
He wrote that press release. Like, this guy's behind the scenes. He's doing it all. It is
funny how like those guys probably see America as so manipulatable. In a way, isn't that creepy? Like they see public image, everything about society is purely malleable. And like, oh, you're like a scumbag. I can make you look like Mr. Rogers in 3 weeks. Like, oh, you have a violent crime past? Hey, you're going to be allowed to visit grandma very quickly, very soon.
Someone tried to cancel Kamala Harris, and then we canceled them. And you go, what?
No, someone tried to cancel her. We made her the vice president, okay? And we would have made her the president if she had actually given us the 40 million, okay?
Yeah, that's it.
She gave us 30, okay? All we could do is vice president, right?
You got to pay. You got to pay to play.
All right,
she'll be president.
That's a good story.
That's a good rip. That's a good rip
on the first episode of the recorded podcast.
Wow,
what a beautiful time. Okay, what's
that's
next,
beautiful,
Amish?
Dude. We gotta drop, dude, and we have an editor, so you can drop some soundtrack on it. You want to do a quick? You want to just do a quick chat about this Elizabeth Holmes thing because I think it's related.
I beat you to the punch.
There we go.
I want to talk about Canada, baby. We got old Justin. We'll talk about Elizabeth Holmes next. This has just popped up in my feed. I laughed so hard.
I love this. I'm fucking crying.
No, okay. The only thing that's funny about this is that this has to be the most embarrassing thing for Justin Trudeau. Of all the acronyms to remember, you don't forget this one, Amish. This is of all of them.
They just added like a couple of new ones, right? Like, what is it now? I don't know what it is, but I'm not the prime minister.
LGBTQ plus, Amish.
Oh, you just put a plus and we're good at God is great.
Yeah, that's the ref.
Okay, that's easy. That's easy.
It's not, well, as a politician, if you're in America, politician, you know that's the most important acronym. You don't forget
LGBTQ plus.
Boom.
I already got it. Trudeau.
It's not hard. Listen, he screwed up.
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
2? There's no 2. He gets it wrong even on the last one.
Kids' rights.
I love how it's a rip for rights, like rights, but he can't get the thing right.
I care about the what's his name's rights. Yeah, what's his name? Yeah, I care about his fucking rights. Okay,
there's a horrible. I care about the people suffering of AIDS two plus. Like it's like AIDS. It's like, dude, you don't know the acronym for your thing you're carrying. Like you're like ripping about it. You're like, I will stand for the people with AI2Q, please.
Yeah, it's like not funny. Even a real. Is he real? Is he like he's like a robot? It's like someone gives him a press release.
You're actually in Canada. Do you love Trudeau?
No. We all loved his dad, but this guy is like a dumb rich kid. So he really does have that. And I talked about this documentary before. I got to find it. But I remember I saw this documentary about rich kids years ago. They had the kid of Johnson & Johnson, like the Johnson & Johnson heir is the main guy. Ivanka Trump was in it, the hot Trump daughter. No offense to the rest of them. But, you know, she really works on it. And then there's like 3 other rich kids, right? Just like him, all silly.
Yeah.
All silly, kooky guys, can't have a real conversation, can't like, you know, just not in touch with reality. The most in touch with reality was Trump's daughter. She was kind of cool. The rest of them, they're like, there's nothing in there even.
Right.
So you're just putting in whatever you want to put in. So someone gives him a press release.
The problem with nepotism. Nobody tells you that, like, if you're a smart guy, your son's probably going to be an idiot. It's reversion to the mean. This is just stats. Things revert to the mean, dude. You're some sharp politician. Yo, your son's going to be adult. He's not going to have anything between the two. Yeah,
no,
not
dude.
Two
and
brain cells to rub together. I know. Yeah. It's interesting. But, hey, credit to Trudeau. He just won the election, man.
No,
that little face is carrying him, dude. That face, because he can't say it. He can't even remember.
What do you count as a win? I mean, it's he only won 3 seats. $600 million they spent on the election. They won 3 more seats. It's still a minority government.
But he's still in
He
there.
says it. Yeah, he's technically the prime minister, but it was a minority government before. Minority government now. 600 million. You got 3 seats. I mean, what a giant waste of time. But it is a win, and it's a giant distraction from like whatever screw-ups he has. He has 3 like ethical issues. Like he has 3 like legal ethical issues. So whenever they get their shit together in 5 years, they could sue. Like he could get in legal trouble for some of the stuff. Like, you know, the $300,000 for his mom. I know it's like nothing, but like that was one of them. There's 2 other ones, and they're technically legally like it's like legal. It's weird because like Biden's done horrible things. Trump did horrible things. Trump probably broke more laws, as many laws as him. But that's another rich kid. We're being ruled by rich kids.
Can I say something?
Tell me.
I think the idea of like politicians going to jail for their crimes. Maybe I'm just jaded. I don't think everyone gets so distracted with that stuff. And like, I think like they're never going to go to jail. Are you kidding?
No, they're upper class. They got us.
A politician going to jail for their crimes? Bro, why do you think they got into politics in the first place, dude? If I wanted to commit crimes, I'd go into politics. It's the perfect place because you're right next to the justice system. So you just call up your buddy who you've been friends with for years and go, hey, get me off. And they're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, we got a team. I mean, bro, that's what this cancel consultant is.
All these politicians, people dream of going to jail. It's like, oh, that was a big thing with Trump, too. They always go like, Trump's going to jail.
No way, dude.
What world do you live in? No, never.
I mean, like Trump's the one guy. You know what's really wacky out of this world is when people go, George W. Bush should go to jail for war crimes. It's like, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? But Trump has like business issues that could get him screwed. But no, he's too sneaky.
People say that. It's just never going to happen.
He'll kill himself. He'll die. He'll die in the end. If you watch the documentary, dude, he does not like the way he plans his life. He's going to screw his own kids. Like, I think when he dies, he plans on having nothing. And those kids are all going to be $500,000 in debt each. That's how he's going to die. Because he's always maxed out. This guy rips, dude. That's how his whole life is. He's always maxed out on credit to the point where he gives them shit. They ask him too much. Hey, they call 4 times like, hey, can you pay the money back? He picks up, says, you keep calling, I'll never pay it back. Boom. Done.
Oh, hey, speaking of that, can I just do a hot jump in, get a rip in?
Get a rip.
Do you know about Evergrande? We may just not pay anything back. Yo, the stock market is collapsing right now. New rip. Hey, editor, new rip. That's right fine. Here. Boom.
Yeah, Trudeau's done, dude. Trudeau's like, we got it.
Evergrande, people. Let's talk about Evergrande
is a hot rip,
dude.
Let's pull up Evergrande. I just saw Tom Nash's videos on it too, and your video, and he was in your video for a second.
Literally. So Evergrande,
you put him in.
That's a great video.
That was great, man.
I mean, okay, so at Evergrande, I'm talking about Tom's video. Actually, I learned a lot. So,
no, you're talking about your video. Don't do that. I was going to say something. I was going to be like, man, we are so proud of ourselves.
I know. It was a great video. It just sounds so dumb. It's like, but I actually was happy with that video. No, but I did watch his video too. And that's actually where I learned like most of what I know about Evergrande. The funny thing is I was kind of making a joke about the fact that anytime stuff like this happens, like, you know, when like COVID hit, we all became virologists. And then when Afghanistan happens, we all became like historians of war. It's like when Evergrande is happening, I was just laughing at myself and a lot of other pundits who some of them don't know what they're talking about. And everyone's just like kind of like talking out of their ass about like, they really just read a Wikipedia article. Like, it's like you're like in 5th grade and you're teaching the 4th grader. But anyways.
Tom Nash has 3 videos up. What do you think of it? Do you think his analysis is tight, or are you saying, because your analysis was kind of like, hey, it was like more joking.
No,
like,
Tom actually knows what he's talking about. No.
He does know what he's talking about. Yeah, I thought so too. He's into finance.
But even like financial analysts do get themselves in trouble because they just like start like, hey, Evergrande, da-da-da. It's like, okay, you know U.S. equities. Anyway, the point is, let me now talk out of my ass. Evergrande is a property developer, so they're like leveraged to the moon. They're like Trump. Trump was a property developer.
Yeah.
This is like the nature of property development. It's like you get leveraged up, and then the cash conversion cycle is slow because it takes forever to develop the property. You're super loaded with debt. Okay, of course. Everyone knows how this works.
It's just like real estate always pays back. So anyone will give you a loan on real estate, so you max it out.
Yes. Okay, so Evergrande's attitude was like, not only does real estate always pay out, like, basically, if anything goes bad, it's just kind of the bank's problem. So they just they not only were bidding on homes, they were actually overbidding on homes. A bunch of the houses they were buying and like the properties they were buying, they're going way over asking, but they're like, nah, we'll just like figure it out. So they expand super rapidly. Anyways, in 2012, Andrew Left, who's like Citron research guy,
Andrew Left, like Andrew was working at Evergrande.
No. The guy's name is Andrew Left. He works for Citron Research. It's like a company that shorts companies.
They
were involved in the GameStop scandal, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew Left wrote a report basically saying this company's insolvent. There's no way.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way they're going to pay back. Okay. He gets actually sued, or I think he basically gets banned from trading in China for 10 years.
Oh my God!
10 years. Hey, they go, guys! You're interfering. They go, you're interfering with us. Da, da, da.
What's with this? He's such a dictator.
It turns out 10 years later, the balloon has blown up even bigger. Now they owe $300 billion, dude. Billion. It's 10 years of basically insolvency.
Where's the apology from the Chinese? I want Xi Jinping to say, "Hey, man,
it's funny.
We held you out of the market."
No, he's never gonna get an apology, dude. China rips, dude. Like if you're not a national, bro, they don't care about you.
Who are you? You're nothing. They don't care about their own citizens. Yeah.
So true. So anyways, Andrew Left's about to get his whole trading license back. It's been about 10 years. Anyway, his prediction's coming true. Evergrande
give it back.
What's funny is he wouldn't have traded on this like big bet of his that would have probably made him a lot of money.
Right.
So he should have just shut up about it. But Evergrande is going under, and what they're saying basically is like, oh, if we don't get bailed out, we could have to crash the entire real estate market. Oops.
Oopsie.
And the Chinese government's like, shoot, we're like the guys who say that like we're pro-worker. We can't be seen bailing out the bank or the property developers. We're not. We've basically ridiculed America for 2008 for 12 years, 13 years. Now they're in the same position where they're going to have to probably bail out China Evergrande. Otherwise, they're already like their real estate market's trash, and it's going to go worse. Amish,
it's already trash. Their real estate market's already kind of fake. It's very inflated by Chinese government. So I would say, first of all, it's already owned by the Chinese government, Evergrande. Like every corporation in China is owned by the Chinese government. That's why you look at a guy like Jack Ma. He talks some shit. They go after him. There's like 3 CEOs that I think Xi Jinping like may put him in jail or killed him or something. But like definitely put CEOs in jail for
You're
talking
below
shit.
The state. Yeah, the state owns it doesn't, but it does. Yeah.
So what I think in this case, you're kind of like liquidating a company, and the cheapest way to do it is just to let them do it. So it is too big to fail. It's what Trump did too. It's what Trump did, and it's what GM and all
modern
these companies.
Economic theory of like, hey, if it's 100 million, it's our problem or it's your problem. If it's 300 billion, it's now the government's problem. You know what I mean?
now you're screwed.
Yeah. So the government will basically bail you out. Yeah. But what's interesting is that I didn't know this. China has a huge the property development has been so insane for so long. It's been this huge bubble where these property developers keep taking on debt to basically say they have new assets. but they keep building properties that no one needs. So they're what's called ghost towns, where there's just entire apartment complexes.
I know.
That are completely empty.
Gorgeous, dude. And
gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Do you see the one they made like Paris? It's so cheesy. They made their own Paris.
Yeah. Here's the thing. What's funny is Evergrande now is paying out some of their investors with the real estate itself that they own. So it's like, but it's like a rock bottom prices. So they go, hey, look, we owe you $100. How about a hotel? Quite honestly.
That's it.
Hey,
hey, free stay at any Holiday Inn in the Northwest region. It's on me. You're like, what? Look, you own real estate. It's living in the real estate. So here's 500 days at any Holiday Inn. But anywhere you go.
Yeah. Free days. Here's what's interesting, though, Amish. I want to ask you about this. People are saying it's the Lehman Brothers moment for China, where it's going to collapse the whole market. What do you think? As a sophisticated financial analyst.
I'll say what I agree with what Tom Nash said today, actually, on one of his. Basically, the difference I'd say is, and we already talked about this, at the core of this, you can go and find a physical piece of property. The thing with Lehman Brothers, it was a derivative of a stock, of a buyback, of a loan, of a mortgage. So it's nothing. Yeah. Like they're going to collapse. Like with real estate, that's why you can over leverage yourself so easily in real estate. It's because all else fails, the bank can go to a house, right? And they can sell the house for whatever. At least 100,000 or 200, 300,000, whatever. Like these guys, they have basically, and that's what's going to happen now with the Chinese government. The Chinese government, look, they could change the name, but one way or another, although it's basically now time to take everything they've built and every piece of machinery they have and everything they have and start selling it off.
Well, the problem is that what people are saying is already the real estate market in China is like shaky. I mean, because there's too much stuff and not enough like demand, not enough money. So what the question is if you liquidate something like Evergrande, it has ripple effects to everybody else because if you've got a bunch of like tons of real estate just going on the market.
Yeah, you don't liquidate everything
going on the market.
I mean, it's always better to look at things that are almost done, and you almost have to like judge it for like, okay, for like 50 million, we could finish this, and then they can go on the market and we can make the money back. So those things you just, I guess, finish the deal. But then whoever manages it, I think the Chinese government just whether you keep the name Evergrande and you hire a bunch of new managers, or the Chinese government comes in and says, this is now taken over by the corporation of this and this and this, and we're going to manage it. Yeah. But like one way or another, like you're either selling off what you can sell like in the market and make full money, or you start liquidating it. But collapse, I mean, the weird thing too about this is that China, like, remember we were talking about like a second ago, we're talking about these like they just build shit. Like they built a Paris, nobody lives there. People just go to take their wedding photos there. Nobody lives in the houses. Yeah. So the Chinese government's already doing that and saying like, hey, we need to falsely make our economy look like it's making money, even though it's not. So that's why they do that. Like all those blank things, like the Chinese government just says, hey, we got a booming economy. Business is booming. Woo! We just made an Eiffel Tower. Fuck you. We just made an Eiffel Tower. Why not? Because why not? We're booming, baby.
Hey, we're France too. We just ate. Yeah.
Yeah, and really nothing. So then China, Evergrande has to look back at China and be like, hey man, you made us build it all. There's no one here to buy it, so we're bankrupt. I guess but I don't know. I from what I can tell, just going back to the question, I know I went on a tear over there for a second, but going back to the question, I think with the difference between this and Lehman Brothers is Lehman Brothers always was this like a derivative of a stock, of a buyback, of a mortgage. This is real estate at the end of the day. So I don't think they're going to completely go out of business. Like the Chinese government will step in. Other real estate developers can just buy a chunk each. Be like, hey, we'll manage like France too.
Well, what they're saying is all of the other property developers are basically in the same boat. Like all of them are over leveraged too.
Yeah, it is a meaningless market. Like the Chinese government's telling them to make these blank, like these properties. You know what happened? It's a dictatorship, right? So Xi Jinping said, build the houses. And they're like, but no one's going to buy them. And he says, just build it. And they go, okay, fine. It's like, so they built it all. And they're like, there's nobody moving in. What do we do? We're going bankrupt. Like that could be what's happening. I'm just speculating, but yeah.
Because build the houses, dude. Build it.
Like, yeah.
No. Well, okay.
This is a miracle. This is an economic miracle.
Yeah, Evergrande is an interesting situation. We'll be monitoring it.
By the way, I love the name. Evergrande.
Evergrande. Dude, I thought it was Evergreen, dude. I thought it was the ship.
I know, right?
Or whatever it's called, Ever Given. I think that was actually
so silly, dude.
All right, dude. Next topic, dude.
Wrap it up. Let's go to the next
wrap. It up, dude.
Let's go to the next.
You want to talk about Elizabeth Holmes now?
Yeah, well, we can do a quick rip on Elizabeth Holmes. I mean, just this article is so silly, and I was gonna say, the opinion. Oh man, it's not letting me pull up the article now.
Is it New York Times not letting you?
It's New York Times.
Here, I found it. Bro, you got to use archive.
Dude, this looks like a hard cancel consultant at work. This article. I mean, it does say, to their credit, it does say opinion guest essay.
Move your head back a little bit.
Oh yeah.
People got to see this. We got to read this real quick.
Oh, where we at? Yeah.
The Elizabeth Holmes trial is a wake-up call for sexism in tech. What? What is that headline? You think it was sexist that she was a fraudster?
Why do you hate women, Stephen? Why do you hate women? That's what this article is. This article is like...
They're saying, basically she's Steve Jobs when she founded the unconventional blood testing company Theranos. I was relieved to see a woman finally benefit from the hyperbole that dominates... Are they going to really say that this was the fact she got arrested was all because a bunch of sexists?
Sexism hit job, dude. Sexism hit job. All right. When I see the tiny Indian man that she had to bang for 3 years to survive, I feel terrible for her too. Okay. Oh! This is one of those things where you go, who's suffering more? Have you seen that filthy old Indian man that she was with when she was like, you did a video on Elizabeth Holmes already, right?
Yeah.
You've seen the guy. It's like Sanjay something. He's like
the guy she was with, like the 40-year-old or 50-year-old.
The 40, yeah. Same age as me, probably. But like this guy is so gross. And basically part of it is like, hey, I'll fund your company, but you know, so we're going to get married? Like, do you love me? Yeah, I guess one of those moves. And that's part of her thing too. Like,
wait, what are you saying? What are you saying here? Are you saying Elizabeth Holmes what?
I'm saying that like all of these con artists, Holmes, everyone. Like, we know she's a con artist. But don't be sad if she doesn't go to jail. Don't be sad if everyone gets together and say, hey, this was just an attack on women. You leave her alone. She's not going to jail. Don't be sad. Because it sounds like she's got the cancer consultant working for her. And it sounds like they're going to just get her off. And she did suffer is what I'm saying. She does suffer. Like, they all suffer. Even Bill, like, honestly, people want them to go to jail literally.
Do you just not believe in justice?
I do believe in justice, but in the attempt to give justice, even in the attempt of it, justice is being served.
Bro, now, listen, I saw this video where they like found Elizabeth Holmes, right?
Okay.
This is like she's on trial, right, for this horrible crime of
she's
lying,
an Instagram influencer.
Billions of dollars of investors' money. Okay. She's with some hot guy walking her dog, just chilling, dude. And they're like, Elizabeth Holmes, can you talk? And she's like, no. And they go, no, but you defrauded like millions of investors. She's like, no. She goes like, I got to go. Basically, she probably was on her way to her yacht. Okay, you're saying she's suffering. Yeah. I don't know. I think a little bit of actual consequences for lying to investors would be something. Amish, do you understand that she was telling people they were getting their blood tested by her little Einstein machine or whatever, and they actually were not? She was sitting. She would take, Amish, listen to me.
Yeah.
She would take a full 2 vials and say, we're just doing this just in backup. It's just protocol. But she'd tell them you're getting like an Einstein test, right? An Einstein test. And they would go do the backup. They would just actually run it at a real lab. And then sometimes I think people actually got like misdiagnosed because she would try to use her machine. And then like it was telling a diabetic he didn't need something. I mean, like she's crazy. Bro, she's nuts, dude.
And I love that the whole time she's giving these speeches, she's like, what we're doing at Theranos is we're changing lives. Like she's just doing it, like going with it, dude.
At Theranos, I believe in the power of the collective to treat global health issues in a way that is truly revolutionary. I believe in the power of the individual. Who wrote this article? I have to know.
It is a guess. I mean, New York Times just put, like, what are they doing? Is there no shame? She's
Isn't Ellen Powell like a big deal?
She's a tech investor, chief executive.
She's a big. A big shot.
Interesting. Ellen Powell's a big shot. Weird but even New York Times, dude, for posting this, like, she's a con artist. That's what I'm saying. This is cancel consultant, has his fingerprints all over.
100%. Ellen Powell works for the cancel consultant, and dude, this is the first barrage in a series of like, hey, are we really mad at Elizabeth Holmes?
Sexist.
You sexist. Dude. If you guys are mad about Elizabeth Holmes, you might be sexist.
How could you do that? Dude, okay, but this is what I okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Well, here's what I mean about the suffering. Because I do worry that John Haynes, or whatever that evil man's name is, that beautiful evil man, whatever his name was, the cancel consultant, I feel like he's on the case. I feel like he's going to get her off. You're going to be real upset, Stephen. You're going to be very disappointed.
I will be.
Because I know this stress bears on you. You make these videos.
Yes. These fraudsters need to pay.
No justice.
There's no justice. Exactly.
You got to understand their ego is making them suffer every moment. While they're doing it, they're suffering, first of all.
Bro,
think of the 9 years she's in there.
They're chilling. Don't you know? I think she's got like a lot of money.
They'll take all that away. They'll take all that away.
No. A lot of these guys have a lot of money stashed away.
You think she is evil like that? She's not. She's holding off on a stash.
I don't think she's dumb.
Her beautiful boyfriend, he's a real estate mogul, dude.
Bro, yeah, no.
And she's pregnant. Dude, forget it. This is cancel consultant. He said, "Baby, get pregnant."
Oh yeah, yeah. Like the day of her thing, she got pregnant or something like that. She had some she's like, "I'm pregnant now."
Dude,
cancel
this poor guy,
consultant, dude.
Cancel consultant's on the case. This poor rich kid, dude. His family's freaking out. Wow, her boyfriend, dude. He's like a beautiful kid, but he's a real estate rich kid too. He's gonna inherit all his real estate. So now she's
conning him again, dude. She's
killed it.
Unstoppable.
She fucking kills it. And you know, John Haynes is in the background. You know what he does? This is how far cancel consulting goes. He's basically getting people to manipulate him and be like, "Hey, life must carry on." What's with the condoms? Like they gotta like, because he is like a dumb rich kid too. He looks like an airhead.
So
poor
funny,
guy,
dude.
And Elizabeth Holmes.
Listen, you keep telling me that this lady's suffering. Oh, she's in so much pain, dude.
She was. Now she's killing it. Now she's having a great time. But when they take all her money away, which
she's
they
in a lot
will,
of pain, Amish.
They're gonna take her money away. Don't like the suffering. This is what I mean.
No,
the suffering of having to bang that dude. Not because he's brown, because he's fucking gross and short. No offense if you're a short guy listening to this. Love you, baby. Love you. But when you're watching the documentary, you know that her money's tight and that short ass Indian dude is like, "Hey man, I could keep this thing going." I can keep this thing going.
What is the thing with the Indian guy? What does the big Indian have to do with it?
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I should not. It's so rude of me.
Such low self-esteem for big Indian.
I am attacking my own people for no reason. I don't know why I'm bringing up the fact that he's South Asian. It just stands out in my mind. It just stands out that he's this fucking dude, man. He spent millions on that company, I think, of his money. I think maybe he got his money back. So, okay, during that time, I'm saying they're suffering. Mm-hmm. And then now she's having a great time. But when she has to go back to court and they will take her money all away, and whatever other money she has, she won't be able to spend it. And that'll be her suffering.
Ellen Powell's getting her off, dude.
Ellen Powell's on the case, with this stupid article.
I guess her point is other people have lied and basically, and this is actually, the lady has a point. Other people have lied and gotten away with it. But I guess the point, no one's actually saying that Elizabeth Holmes is the only fraudster. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to be like, there is no justice, so then let's let even the people that are getting in jail, like, let them off, because it's unfair that anybody's getting justice, like, served. Like, that's what pisses me. That's what makes no sense about it. This is like, oh, okay, if your argument is that people lie in, like, the startup world, yeah. Sometimes probably criminally. Okay, I can maybe buy that.
They're saying, hey, Holmes didn't hurt anyone. She went for it. She was trying hard. She went for it. Okay.
She was trying to be a boy in a man's world.
And they didn't let her in.
And they didn't let her in. Those sexist, dude.
Sexist community. And then she had to marry that guy. And she had to. Okay, but let me ask you this. When you watch the documentary, and it's been a while since I've seen this documentary. A new one just came out a month ago. I got to watch that. But the last documentary I saw about this, they were saying that she was getting shady by the end, man. She didn't believe in a goddamn thing. That's my issue with her, is that, can you believe in something? Do you care about blood tests? Anything?
Amish,
she
do
just
you
wanted
care
to blow
about
up.
women though?
I do. Yeah, no.
The Elizabeth Holmes trial.
Fair point.
It's sexist,
fair point.
Dude.
Fair point. I mean, clearly she's working with the cancer consultant.
The end of this whole topic is like, you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, are you sexist?
Are you sexist? At the end of the day, we don't want to get on the wrong side of the cancer consultant because we're gonna cancel.
Dude, hey, do you want to be the vice president or do you want to be, Tulsi Gabbard?
Tulsi Gabbard, dude, making rips on her YouTube. She's doing good rips. I love her rips, but she's not vice president.
Should have gone with the cancel consultant. All right.
All right, man. Wrap it up, dude.
Wrap it up, dude. That's Elizabeth Holmes.
That's Elizabeth Holmes. We could do a similarly short one on Prince Andrew, because this looks like this guy did not get the cancer consultant. If I'm being honest, here's an example of a guy, Is it Albert or Andrew?
Prince Andrew.
Andrew.
Here we go.
Look at how he looks, even. He looks just so flustered.
Let's cover this story real quick. Prince Andrew is served sexual assault lawsuit in the United States. Lawyers for Virginia Giuffre, who says she was assaulted at 17, sent the civil lawsuit to the prince's U.S.-based lawyer. Wow. Didn't this happen like years ago? I mean, is he finally getting sued?
I think a week ago. Okay, so there is a clip in there I think I have of like the guy saying that he's... Oh my God! Let me see this. 21 days. See, like they're trying to serve him the papers right now, and he's doing the classic. Like what I love about this story, right, is he's doing the classic move of like, can't serve me.
Oh yeah, not the U.S. Hey,
can't serve me. He's apparently and the judge who's working on it, he's been trying to send the papers over, and the guy just won't. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the next clip.
That's the next level move.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, you got a clip for me here.
It is the next clip.
Look at you doing your karmas, dude.
At 55.
Ready. Wow.
Yeah, this guy is not. Also, did you know that back in the day he was called Randy Andy? This guy needs to get locked up, dude. This is the end of the royal family, right? This is it.
Andy? Sorry, I'm not familiar with it. Is Randy basically like
horny?
Horny. Okay.
Pervert. He's like usually they mean like a sex pest, but this guy went way further than that with this girl, obviously. And I think this, I'll say this too. He makes Harry, those other two, he makes them look like a couple of princes, which they are, and he's not.
True.
And Markle, even, it's like at least they're coming over and doing podcasts and being productive. This idiot, what useless? Like at least Markle has a vision. Right? Of like what life could be. And Harry, dumb going along with it. This guy is
bringing down the fam, dude. Bringing down the fam.
Bringing it all down. Do you see the clip? Yeah, there you go.
Tape. Prince Andrew is refusing to be served by not accepting legal documents that were left at his home in Windsor.
What do you mean not accepting? Can't get me. You can't get me. I do not accept.
Randy Andy is gone.
How does that even... What?
Randy Andy slipped away. He couldn't get me.
Randy Andy.
Randy Andy. Send it to my mummy's house. Can't get me.
Refusing to be served. First hearing bogged down in red tape, Prince Andrew is refusing to be served by not accepting legal documents that were left at his home in Windsor, frustrating New York Judge Lewis Kaplan. Let's cut out all the technicalities and get to the substance, he said. Giuffre, who lives in Queensland, claims she was trafficked to the UK aged 17 to have sex with the prince. Since filing the suit, she's been silent.
That poor lady.
Good job, man. She's killing it.
She's a hero for actually being like, because normally when you're victimized in that way, it's hard to have you need balls to then come out and be like, no, I will take you down. It's like kind of this weird thing of if you're victimized like that, it's like, it's so shameful and stuff. So God bless her for doing that.
God bless her, man. 1 in 4 women apparently are assaulted in some way. And it is hard, man. I've known so many girls that are like, and dude, it's frustrating because you're like, say something, but it's not your choice. It's their thing and it's what they've gone through. It is terrible in their own way. Yeah. But this is
it's actually something I hear all the time about like other anyways, I shouldn't say too much, but like, no, you'll like hear stuff and you go like, are you going to come out and like say, like, you can't just like break something like that. Like, are you going to say something? And they'll say like, no, I'm just going to like move on because no one, I mean, it's very sad. Like, you're just like, holy shit. Like, it's sad because they don't want to keep reliving it. And then imagine you go through it all and it doesn't even work out. So I get it. You know what I mean? But it is, as a man, you're just like, let's fix it. Let's get them. But it's not, it doesn't work like that. They're trauma. That is what, even they scare you with it. Like, don't tell anyone or I'll do whatever. There's that. Yeah. And then there's also the trauma itself. Can you imagine trying to go after the prince, dude? Who like, not only does the prince have the cancel consultant. It's funny how the cancel consultant's coming in and all the rips. If you're watching this on YouTube, you got to watch the cancel consultant clip first. But the cancel consultant's not only working for him. There's probably got like 20. The royal family probably invented the cancel consultant. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Their whole genealogy is just a bunch of like, how do we trick the people into still thinking we're like the best thing ever?
Yeah. This is our ruling class, and they're suffering, and it gives me joy to see that. It does give me joy to see this ruling class suffer and be broken down a peg. Over here, it's more Kamala Harris, these guys, you know, and that whole cancel consultant we were talking about before. Here, the royal family does usually have their own problem. This idiot, Randy Andy, he always runs off on his own. So last year, he even did an hour-long interview. He just embarrassed himself. So stupid, but good.
Oh, my gosh.
That's why he will I think he will come to justice. And I think like.
No, he won't, because you know why? He doesn't accept justice, dude. They're going to be like, yeah, he didn't accept the ruling. We said he had to go to jail, but he didn't accept it.
Foolish.
Speaking for her.
She needs to hold him accountable for all of his actions when he's done. I'm very proud of my daughter to step up and put this civil suit against him.
Prince Andrew denies all claims and says he's never even met the woman.
And they show the picture of them two together. Never even met the woman. It's like him.
Dude,
he
Randy
say like, oh,
Andy.
it's probably, he said like, oh, it's probably Photoshop. They showed him.
Yeah, he said
I don't know, Photoshop.
Prince isn't facing any criminal charges. This is a civil suit. It means Virginia Giuffre wants a court to decide whether she's telling the truth and whether she deserves to be paid compensation. Defiant, the Duke will be served in the next 7 days. Both parties are due back in court next month. In New York, Michael Genovese, 9 News.
What do you think his mom... Oh, do you want to finish it?
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
What do you think is... like, I remember before I used to think, like, I used to feel so bad for his mom because I do have this weird love of Queen Elizabeth, especially after I watched The Crown and she's so hot in a smoke show first season. They're all so hot, the sisters. In real life, they're okay. In the show, so you just fall in love. I know, you just fall in love though, right? And you just fall in love with what they're going through and everything.
Like easily?
This is what if you are lost in the good story, then that is the job of the story.
Wow.
You have to fall in love as the character falls in love. Okay. You have to participate fully. I'm participating, right? In The Crown. No, but it is a giant brain. You're right. It's like a brainwash thing. Like I tell people and they're like, don't watch that shit. They're the colonizers. Like, why are you watching the call?
No, my wife loves The Crown.
I love it too. It's great. It's a good show.
I've seen it happen firsthand. I can't get into it. It's too slow.
Well,
this is an entire episode. Nothing happens. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, but so much happens.
Besides the point. Besides the point.
But I'll say this: like even them, right? Like, okay, we're talking about the other Holmes suffering before, like all these people that are getting off, and it's like they do suffer. This royal family, they do suffer. I mean, not to say that they don't deserve to be taken down a peg and lose everything and whatever. I would love to see it. I can't wait to see it. It would be great to just see them being fed to a lion. That's what I think we should do with this guy. And there's probably like a mandate of like, well, you've broken the law, but like it is. They do suffer in the sense that like when you watch the show, it's all about. You're right. Nothing happens in it because they're locked in. You can't leave.
Oh, that's
so they're
true.
bored of the surroundings.
You are a prisoner to your station in life.
Yeah. And then they're all like having sex, like they're having sex with random people. Like Queen Victoria, she was banging her dad's security guard. I think she was 15, and I think he was married and 40 or something. And then they're like, "We're in love. He is my only love." That's like the first season, I think, where she just becomes a train wreck off the jump because they got her to be the queen, and then the younger sister.
What does this have to do with Prince Andrew?
It's royal family politics, dude. Here's the thing. They all suffer. They're all silly people. They're weird. Okay. He's grown up in the same, like, you're not allowed out. You're not allowed to do this. Then he has this Randy Andy. Like, who is he banging? Like, I guess his cousins and shit. But the boys are allowed to leave. The girls have to stay in. Fourth season of The Crown, I'll tell you another anecdote from The Crown, just to give some insight on this prince.
Sure.
What kind of
we're
life he's
deep
had.
into The Crown.
So we're deep into The Crown. Season 4, it's like the women have to stay in, locked in, whatever. But at one point, the queen's husband, who married into the family, this is Queen Elizabeth's husband, married into the family. At one point, season 4, he goes gallivanting. He's like, darling, I must go with the Navy. We'll go gallivanting. And he's just going. And like, basically they're insinuating, and I think this is what happened. He's just going around banging like just indigenous women on like another thing. They go to Africa. This tribe is like, you are God. Like there's tribes that think that to this day that Prince Charles is God. There's one tribe like that, but they definitely have this like, oh, the colonizers are here. So what do we do? And it's like, they just go and have sex with all the girls. These guys are afraid of them though.
What?
And then they send a letter back to the country club in England. The way that he got caught for doing this is they would send a letter back to the country club. There's like a men's country club in England.
Yeah.
And the guy in the men's country club, he'd be like, I have a letter from the prince. I saw a fine Nubian today. Oh. And like he's like reading the guy's letter. And it's basically, that's how he gets caught. He literally writes, like he's going around banging these other people, sends back the letter. Queen, someone working there is like, yeah, I overheard this. Like told the queen. But this is the kind of weird culture they're in. Like, it's silly. Like, the guys are allowed to be this, I guess, like Randy Andy. It's like, this guy Epstein has access to these whatever.
Yeah. He's just allowed to run around. Sure.
All he has is running around.
Well,
and I do want to talk about that Seattle documentary you sent me too, but we'll get into that in a second. But like, it just spoils you rotten. You become a crazy person.
No, I do think there's something about like, if you have access to so much power, so much wealth, you need to be stimulated by something. And if you can't be stimulated because you like have everything, I think it takes you down a weird road. You're just like, maybe I get into some other stuff, something a little crazier. You're just always looking for something to hey, look, when you have the nicest clothes, nicest wine, you got money, power, can talk to anybody. It's like, yo, you got to get excited about something.
Randy Andy
strikes again.
And what do you think his mom? At first, I felt really
he's like
bad
showing up in like an OkCupid account with Randy Andy. Do you think Tinder, you're just swiping right and you just go Randy Andy shows up on your profile?
He's like, yes, it's actually me.
It just says Prince.
I'm the prince.
It says Andrew, and then it goes, my name's actually Randy Andy.
Randy Andy.
Yeah, probably.
He is like a weird out of touch. Like, I remember the Princess Diana. She ended up dating this prince, like some king or some prince from the Middle East. But that guy seemed like a guy, like a normal dude. This Randy Andy, and even Prince Charles, but they showed this in the TV show too. They were, you're gonna be like, why are you making excuses for them? I think they were like assaulted as kids, like they were abused as kids, because they're stuck in there, and some weird nanny. No, I'm not justifying. It's obviously not okay.
All of Amish's stuff is like there is no injustice. Everyone suffers. No, bad. Everyone gets their karmas.
Look.
I just don't believe that.
You got
not in this life. Not in this life.
No, you got it. You want justice to be served.
I want it to be served. I don't think it is being served for a lot of people.
It's not. I mean, it's not fully being served, but I do think like the pursuit of justice, even in this case, it's making his life shit, right? Like if he has to start showing up like Weinstein, where he's, I'm an old. That's what his stupid interview was kind of like too. When he did the interview on Channel 4.
I remember.
So dumb.
He's getting publicly flogged. Yeah, that's awesome. That was hilarious watching that. So yeah, okay, fair enough. I think we've covered that.
We're covered it. Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up, dude. Wrap it up.
Wrap it.
Let's talk about
what do we got?
Talk about Seattle. You want to talk about Seattle?
Dude, I love Seattle. Great movie.
I made you watch this this amazing.
As soon as you showed me, I'm like, I loved it. I'm yeah.
It's a documentary from Como News, March 19th, 2019. Okay? This is before the pandemic hits. And what's fascinating about it, it's called Seattle's Dying.
Yeah.
And it's basically about how I don't know what you say. It's basically about how like liberals are ruining Seattle.
Conservative propaganda. You love it. You're in Texas.
Hey, what did you think of it? What did you think of it? Because I think if you're from Seattle, it's gotten worse, dude. It's gotten worse.
No. I even put in like the first clip in there is like my favorite clip from it, and it's just this clip of the cop because basically what they did in Seattle, just to give it a little context, I guess, is like Seattle. It's almost like a case of defund the police. Like, I hate to say it because I am generally on the side of defund the police. But that experiment, really? I guess, has been tried in a couple of places, like Seattle. They fully took the teeth away from the police. And basically, the drug dealers and the poorest people, like the drug, like basically this is so sad, dude. It's such a sad thing to say about classism and maybe about human nature, but it's almost like the police weren't there to do anything. So then the drug dealers just ramped it up, got all these poor people on drugs. So now in Seattle, there's this housing crisis and homeless. They call it the homeless crisis because basically they set up tents everywhere. Like you're just driving around Seattle,
and
like
it's just a mess. It's just like there's trash everywhere. And what the guys explain in the documentary is basically that it's not they call it a homeless problem. It's actually a drug problem.
Yeah.
Because basically all the people, like they were doing, like you talk to homeless people and the homeless people themselves will tell you everybody who's homeless here is on drugs. Like everybody gets the drugs and they become homeless. And then there's the cycle of addiction. And basically the only way to get out of this is to stop, like basically stop the so much drug dealing. You got to have like laws around it. And the cops have been basically declawed. It is an interesting doc, and I think it's. Let's watch your favorite clip though. Let's give it some context.
Yeah, let's
police
see this,
officer.
Yeah.
So this is a guy they were trying to arrest who's like he's constantly, basically he's just sort of this guy's actually interesting. He's sort of unapologetically a mess and like a wreck, and he's just like basically they're trying to say he's sort of symptomatic of some of the attitude people have, the cavalier. Bro, wow. That's not a good city. When you have a guy who's acting like that going, they've exalted me. They've shown deference to me. It's like, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Come on,
and so this is the other point that I wanted to make about this is like, this is the tough thing.
Dude, Red Pill documentary. I'm going to tell you right now.
It is very Red Pill. It's a great documentary. I mean, I wouldn't call it such a Red Pill though. I didn't see it so much as like,
well, it's just journalism. Liberals. I mean, it's actually really honest journalism. I feel
it's honest journalism, and like but I remember you were saying this too about another one. Like, it's kind of like, dude, it's kind of like if something goes wrong in Texas, any little thing goes wrong, the liberals, they all go, oh, look, their power's out because it's conservative. Why won't they just believe in liberalism? So it's always both sides. Like This is one giant organism, right? And when one side goes too conservative, the other side just goes too liberal, and it's like irrational. So on the one side of the country, you have cops just beating the shit, killing people. Like,
that's not exactly what's happening, but okay.
Not exactly.
It does happen too often. Yes, of course.
It's happening too much, and like there are certain precincts that have been seen now as like kind of that is pretty abusive.
Oh well, no, actually, no. You're right. The point of what you're saying is right, which is that the cops are also recidivist actors. So we're talking about these people who never get their just desserts because their recidivism is like they go back on the streets, they do the exact same crime. The cop situation is the same bad cops keep get let back on the force. They never get kicked out.
Yeah,
because they keep getting
and their bosses like that. Their bosses like that, and their bosses kind of like, we're here to, like, it is population control. So one side's going too far with it, one side's not doing enough with it, and we just have a hard time. This is a tough thing in America. It's always like pick a team, and it's like there's a balance. I didn't even see it like that. Like the documentary, I didn't even see it as like attacking the liberals. Like I saw it as more like, okay, these guys obviously they are liberal and they screwed
liberals.
up.
I mean, it is eye-opening that like this was a grand like kind of experiment in a way, and it seems like it's kind of like
it seems like it's not working.
Been a pretty big train wreck. I mean, same with San Francisco. It's like San Francisco. It seems like a disaster, dude. I know a lot of people who live there who have since moved from there because of the situation so bad, and it's so expensive to live in these cities, and you start to wonder, why am I living here? It's like a dump. I'm living in a dump, but it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars. I know a couple who's they're up in Seattle, and they live outside the city. They're paying thousands of dollars a month in rent, like several $1,000s a month in rent, They're barely getting anything. They can't afford a house. They say, oh, it's beautiful, but like we're paying like we can't afford it. And we go into the city every now and then.
Honestly, I love like most American cities have a cool vibe. Like I love Buffalo. It's fine. You can live in Buffalo for, I don't know, $800 a month. Or like there's other cities. Like there's so many cities, man. Just move to another. Why are you paying like
Everyone wants to be where it's at, dude. Everyone wants
Washington.
To be where it's at.
So Washington, is that where like political Washington is near Seattle or no? That's a different Washington.
Washington, D.C.
That's DC. Okay, cool. I don't know. Seattle, yeah, I guess they screwed up. So this is the other point that I wanted to make about this though. And there's a bit of a side tangent here into this Glenn Greenwald thing, but I'll set it up. Basically, the tough thing here, okay, and I've seen this with people who lend people money or they go out on a limb for someone. The person that you're helping always turns on you. Like there's so many cases I've seen where one guy lends another guy money, and then 10 years later, this guy who got lent the money not only hasn't paid the money back, but is like, I don't talk to that guy anymore. That piece of shit. Like I've seen it a lot. Wow. It just kind of happened to Glenn Greenwald actually, because Glenn Greenwald, the journalist I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. Like this guy right here, what he just said, like he's being given everything. They're like, we're gonna give you everything you need, and we won't arrest you, and we won't attack you, and you're gonna be, we want to try this grand experiment of taking care of you. And then he acts like a maniac, and then he goes, yeah, you know what? This is a very advanced place, actually, because they take care of the prince.
Yeah.
And he believes it.
Yeah, it's incredible. I don't know what's even
like he hits them, fights them. They're like, hey, man, you want a chocolate bar? Fuck you! Like he's just screaming at them. No, but when they said, you want a cigarette or a chocolate bar? Like the cop is like, hey, cool it, buddy. I got a cigarette. I got a chocolate bar. What can we do for you? And he takes the garbage can and he goes, bah! Like he just throws it at them. But that's so typical though. Like I know so many people like that you do everything for them and then they turn on you the most. It's so sad. So this recent thing happened, like last week too. Glenn Greenwald. So years ago, Chelsea Manning goes to jail. It's like unfair the way she went to jail. Like it was like one of these whistleblower things. Like she did some whistleblower thing where she goes to jail. She's screwed. She's by herself. She has no one. Glenn Greenwald is going to visit her, taking down her story, publishing articles saying this person's been wrongfully jailed. His lent her $10,000 one time, lent her another $10,000, but he had to get his mom to go give it to her. Wow. Chelsea Manning last week. So since then, Chelsea Manning's gotten out of jail. And I think it's they're kind of back on top, and they're in with the mainstream media, sure. Right? And mainstream media doesn't like Glenn Greenwald. I know. So Chelsea Manning, like last week, after everything Glenn Greenwald's done for her, she puts out this tweet saying, I wish I never took $10,000 from that Glenn Greenwald. What? How unscrupulous his journalism. It's like shit like that. Like, guy, what is your problem, dude? Glenn Greenwald is a sweet prince, man. He is righteous. And this rotten Hollywood journalistic, like mainstream, whatever, they will not give him the respect he deserves. It's so disgusting. And now Chelsea Manning's kind of in with them. And like, look, I don't think anyone at the New York Times said, hey, go do a rip on Glenn Greenwald and we'll take care of you, whatever. She just took it on herself, I guess. Like she wants to get in with the crowd. She wants to be more tight. Or sorry, I keep saying she. I think they may have transitioned into they might be, I don't know exactly what their pronoun is, but they like really stabbed Glenn Greenwald in the back just for like nothing. Like it's one of those things where like the person you love the most turns on you. It's so sad.
It is interesting. And yeah, that's what you're seeing over in Seattle, man. I mean, it's the wildest thing.
With that guy, for sure.
This is a great doc. I mean, I encourage anyone to go watch it. This is like the start of it.
So just to give it like even another side of it too, is like, it's a great doc. It's by Como, like as a journalist made it. He didn't seem particularly conservative. He's just kind of like trying to get to the bottom of it.
What I thought? You know what I actually thought watching it, Amish, was this. There are probably so many great stories that go underreported because they are the wrong narrative. Do you know what I mean? Like, because so much of the media is like, so, I mean, and I don't even consider like Fox News. They don't really have real journalists over there. It's like all reactionary because actually real journalism doesn't really get that many hits. It's hard.
We're doing current journalism. When we put up an article and we read it, That's what journalism is.
No,
now.
it's not.
The comedians are doing journalism.
No, that's
No,
not.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what it's become. It's like nothing.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah, that's what it's become. Is like everyone's
But Fox News is like what
regurgitating-
we're doing.
Yeah. They just, it's like, it's not original source news. It's just commentary, right?
Yeah, dude, it's too expensive to have a reporter and shit.
So but even among like the journalists that do exist, almost all of them are just pumping out like left-wing pieces, which is fine. I mean, there are stories about the overreaches of this and that on the right wing, etc. Like that's fine.
100%,
Or like the failures of,
Call it out.
Whatever. But there's so many stories, probably like Seattle, which we just never hear about. Like, because nobody's going to cover that they're not going to cover that on CNBC.
I'll tell you what it is. You know what it is, dude? Nobody wants to hear the story about how defund the police didn't work. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to talk about it. It's kind of like, there's so many stories. It's like Fauci leaking the coronavirus. Who wants to do it? It's like Fauci taking U.S. tax dollars, funding a lab in Wuhan, under the table, behind everyone's back. They weren't allowed to do it anywhere else, so they kept it going in China.
Right.
Fauci made a banger. He made the virus by mistake.
So alleged.
It's fine. Allegedly, I know allegedly, but like, okay, no, who wants to say it? He doesn't want to say it. He doesn't want to be like, oh, I killed 100 million people.
Nobody wants this to be, it's such a disaster if this is a man-made anything.
Yeah. Like, we just want to believe that, like, nature ran its course, but we don't consider ourselves part of nature. We are also part of nature. The virus scared us the first time. It created these bureaucracies. It's fine. I think we can even forgive him for it, but he won't admit it, and no one around him will admit it. It's so silly. And they're putting out these, like, he's the sexiest man alive. And then they're redoing, like, the last clip we did where they're re-singing Poison, old hip-hop songs, to be like, Fauci's great.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that story. So it's the same thing here. It's like nobody wants to do the story about, like, Seattle tried to like go easy on poor people, and the whole thing just backfired, didn't work. It's like so sad. It really is the saddest story.
So sad, dude. It's like, it is a story that's like hard to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was interesting. You know what, Amish? I actually do want to talk about a little bit of Cove. Can we wrap it up here?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's go into Cove. Let's transition it up.
Because this is something interesting, Amish. I like when I was watching that doc, dude.
What do you got?
I had my red pants on, dude. I was like, dude, this is disaster. You gotta give these police some more power. Okay, be honest with you, bud.
Yeah.
When I saw this, there's so much here. This story made me furious.
Oh, really?
Furious.
Here we go.
So this is coming out of Texas, dude. This is coming out of my state.
Oh.
The headline is, well, I don't know why it's not letting me read the freaking headline. What the heck?
It's fine. Guys, first day pre-records. Don't worry about it.
Couple asked to leave Texas bar for violating no mask policy. This is in my state. There's no mask policy at a Texas bar.
Guys, take the mask off. I'm in Canada. We're taking the mask off when we go into the restaurant.
Look at this. The owner of a Texas bar is defending his no masks allowed policy after asking a couple to leave. What is going on, dude?
But why did they take off their mask? That's where we are at in
Texas. We say, you're wearing a mask?
Get out.
Get out.
I know, but part of me kind of agree. Like, dude, in Canada, we're not wearing the mask at the table. Once you sit at the table and take the mask, we are all taking the mask off here.
No, yeah. But you can't, like, no. The whole irony is like you're the freedom state, and then you go, you're free to do anything but wear that mask. It's like, what?
They go, you don't have the freedom to not be free, or something. Like, it's like a weird.
We're gonna make sure you exercise your freedom to not wear that mask.
It's just I believe in freedom too much. Get out.
Yeah, it was kind of that was, and then
that's so silly, dude. You have to take the mask off.
Dude.
I heard Tucker Carlson just when he's biking, he's like out biking, and he'll just be like, "Excuse me, take your mask off."
No, you remember when Tucker Carlson said, "If you see a kid wearing a mask, you call CPS, Child Protective Services, because they're abusing that kid."
He's wild, dude.
Meanwhile, over in California
reports the lowest COVID-19 case rate in the country. Well, look at that.
It's because they don't let anybody outside. But it's also because they have one of the highest rates of vaccination. And so, obviously...
Yeah, dude.
You got a bunch of people vaxxed, you got a bunch of people safer.
See that? You got to give and take with these lefties, dude.
I know,
some
dude,
things they hit it, some things they don't.
have some points sometimes, and the vax is definitely a point that, like, dude, I'm getting so fed up. I'm getting so I got to talk about this on the show. It's like uncomfortable to talk about. Just like probably an hour before the show, know somebody. Knew somebody. Husband dies of COVID. Like I'm on the phone with a person. Is like they're basically saying like he's dead. He's dead. Like he already had to be revived. Now he's dead.
Come on.
I don't even have to ask, but of course I do. I say, was he vaccinated? No. Of course not. Of course not. Because in all of these cases, not all of them, but most of these cases, and we'll talk about the numbers in a second, these deaths, man, and I keep hearing about it, like not of like random people, like people that I kind of like are in sort of my sphere.
Yeah.
They're dying. They go, are you vaccinated? You know? No. And you just, it's not sad. It's actually like makes me angry. Well, it's sad too, but like it makes me angry for like the families, for the people who they leave behind, because it's like, this is 100% preventable.
Yeah.
And
filling up the hospital, keeping the whole thing going. But may he rest in peace.
We talk a lot about it's their choice, and it is their choice, but it's like
But make your choice to get it, idiots. Just get it.
Well, I just want to show you this. Like, here's something crazy.
I know.
So this is Texas, because Texas actually has one of the highest rates right now. We're like, 60,000 people have already died of COVID. But look, 99.5% of the COVID-related deaths were among unvaccinated people.
Yeah.
Okay. And why that's interesting is because that's when they started to vax, and vaccinated people has gone up to 50%. So
that's
So if you, it's actually really low. But what I was going to say about that is like it gives you a really nice slice, because assuming you have 50% of the population's vaxxed, 50% isn't.
Yeah.
If the vaccine was completely ineffective, you'd have 50-50, right? 50% would be unvaccinated. Here, 99.5% of deaths are unvaccinated people, man. Wow. It's like, it's messed up.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. And like, dude, we know people, they won't get it. And they're spending the whole day researching, like, there's this and there's that. Guy, you smoke a pack a day. Just get it. Just get the thing, man. I know, but people are messaging me because of our episodes, because of earlier episodes we've done, where we're basically saying like, hey, go easy on them and whatever. But at the same time, just get the vax though, guys. Let's just say this to anyone watching this.
Go ahead, no, say it.
I was going to say, if you're trying to hang your hat on us as like some kind of anti-vax heroes for you, not the case. Get the fucking vax, guys. Get it.
Well, it's
works.
Just funny. It's like you have to acknowledge vax that thing up was an atrocity, right?
Okay, fine.
Right? We agree with you guys.
We agree.
But you see these stories coming out, man. It's like all these people. I mean, I know I have family members who are like in medicine, and they go like, everybody who's dying on the vents, they're all asking for the vaccine. Like they're dying, and they go like, can I get a vaccine? It's like, no, dude, you missed it.
There's a hospital near me, like 2-3 hours away from me. Everyone got fired not fired. Everyone got a mandatory leave for not getting not everyone. A bunch of people just got like mandatory leaves because you're not getting the vaccine, and they work in the hospital, and they won't get it. So even anyone can be like, it's so weird. It's so conspiracy thinking, like, because it's like people are like, hey man, I just don't feel comfortable. What is it? It's going in my body, dude. You smoke a pack a day, or you even weed, even like weed right now. It's they're so strong.
I hate putting I hate just putting like chemicals in my body, and then they're like vaping some like dabs or something like that.
Yeah, or even vaping nicotine. Vaping that looks like horrible.
But like, what's that new derivative of THC that like it's called something?
Oh, CBD. There's CBD.
No, not CBD. There's another one. It's like a number or something, like I don't remember what
THC is the. I thought it was just
no.
THC.
There's like a derivative of cannabis. It's like synthetic. Anyway, I know so many people who are smoking that right now, and then those same people are like, I don't want to put anything chemical in my body, as they smoke like a purely synthetic, cannabinoid.
Yeah, the oils. Yeah. No, those are all new, not really tested, whatever. Hey, man, we're all gonna die, right? Get the vaccine, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah, we got it. It's true. It's true. Everyone's gonna die, of course, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of it. Like when you see somebody,
I'm saying eventually
around you, it happens. It just hits different.
It is, yeah. It is really silly that people are so scared of it. As much as vax that thing up is an atrocity and it should never have been made, I don't like it. I don't like it that they add and all the other songs they made. But this is too much. That they're
Can I tell you something? Did you know that actually it's funny that people are like, oh, big pharma wants to make money. You know that vaccines are notoriously low money. There's no money in vaccines.
These vaccines are making money.
No,
Pfizer's getting paid.
No, listen to me.
Okay, tell me.
For years, they've been able to to do vaccines, right?
Okay.
For almost anything. Yeah. And the reason you don't do vaccines, ironically, some people are correct when they go yeah, there is no money in the cure. That actually is basically true. Vaccine technology, it's a very low margin business.
Yeah, but you're getting a high production.
No, I know, but it's just the way I don't know the nuances of it, but it's just known in pharmaceuticals. That's why there's so little research into vaccines. So many vaccines. Really, it's like the flu vaccine. There's a few vaccines that for the really bad diseases, but most of the other diseases, there's no research into it just because, hey, man, there's no money in it.
Right.
So it's funny that people are like, oh, big pharma's trying to make money. And it's okay, yeah, I'm sure they're always greedy. They're always going to try to make money, right? But in the case of vaccines, it's yeah, they actually could make more money doing something else.
Well, they're trying to make their own versions of ivermectin and stuff like that. They're working on that too. Now these vaccines, in most cases, I would totally agree with you. This is a worldwide pandemic. 600,000 people dead. I'm saying including government influence, with government influence. Look, the fact that these two on NBC saying Tony, but I got a jab and a jab. Feels good. Whatever that song, that atrocity they did. Yeah. These are paid for. Who's paying for that? Is that not? But yeah. I think including all that, they're making money because this is everyone has to get. It's mandatory. That's why it seems like they're pushing the mandatory. But at the same time, I do know what you're saying because people do like to believe in theories. People are always making theories, and they always want to be what do you think? Big Pharma's not getting rich? And it's probably, but I don't know. Maybe I'm sure they're making money. I don't know. I don't know if they're making a killing, and we don't know if they're paying these guys to make the song.
Yeah, I don't know. Just a conspiracy. Just a thought, man. Well, anyway, that's just all I wanted to say. I wanted to make that PSA for the Drip congregation, guys. Please do yourself a favor. We do laugh at the vaccine cringe, but at the same time, the numbers are there, man. Don't die because you wanted to own the libs. You know what I mean? Don't just, it's not. Good.
That's going to bite you in the ass.
Sometimes you want to own the libs as much as the next guy, but
Look, well, we showed you the Seattle thing, right? They're owning themselves. They're owning themselves in Seattle.
Exactly. They're suffering.
Take solace in that.
Yeah. Listen, instead, get the jab. Head to Seattle, dude. Head to Seattle. Go watch that train wreck.
Drive through Seattle like it's a zoo and be look at what the liberal has done. The society is completely broken. Have fun. Have a nice little weekend. Man. Have a nice little weekend.
All right. That's it. That's it for that. That's it for that segment, dude.
Thank you for doing wrap it up. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Thanks, man.
Golly, dude.
What do we got?
We talk about that. Gosh, that made me so it honestly angers you. It's a certain point.
I know,
but
man.
Well, at the same time, yeah, dude, my wife's yo, people have to have their freedoms. People just make, she said this, she goes, people make dumb, preventable death decisions all the time. And I was that's true. She goes, people drink and drive. You're not supposed to drink and drive. You know the stats on it. People do it.
Dude, these people are smoking a pack a day and eat like shit.
I know. So
you're dying from eating to death.
When I hear that, I go, okay, it does make me understand that okay, you can't just mandate healthy behavior. I get that.
Yeah.
I just hope that nobody's holding off because they think, oh, it's the 10,000 IQ play is I hope they don't think they're being safe by not getting it. It's okay, no, I guess if you want to not wear a helmet on a motorcycle, you can. You think it's, cool. If you want not, I guess there's always
do
those
it. You can
people
do it.
who are like, whatever.
But this thing you're saying about own the libs, and this is the interesting thing about this story and the Seattle story. America is so polarized right now that it's almost like in the anger, like when you see the Seattle politicians and when you see these lefties talk about COVID and getting the vaccine, it's the same arrogant attitude of like, we're not going to do anything. Well, the police have been defunded and we're not going to do that. Like that. That's it. Like they just go like, okay, Mr. Conservative, what do you want? And like, they're not really listening anymore. And then they're doing like, cause even when we were watching that song of like, that's about getting the jab, that atrocity they did a remake of the song Poison, classic, but they redid it as like, get the jab in your arm. And I love like whatever nonsense they're doing. Like when you're doing that, at one point he even said, like they had lines in the song in this like go get the vaccine song. They didn't just say, go get the vaccine. Like Vax That Thing Up, which is Juvenile's remake of his classic song. Vax That Thing Up. That was all positive. I really enjoyed that. But what I saw in the NBC remake is they started telling people like, oh, and if you don't get it, you're stupid. Hey, sorry, but Trump's not the best, and also this. It's like right. That's the step too far that I don't agree with, and that's actually further polarizing, and it's making people not want to get it.
I know it is. Yeah. There is a side that you can kind of step into condescension, and that's never a good thing. I agree.
I honestly think that's where it's all coming from. Even with the San Francisco thing, it's just people being like, sorry, but they wanted liberals here, and we did it. So the evidence is coming in that like, okay, you need to give the cop the ability to just take the drug addict and get him into a home or something. Sorry, but we don't believe in taking away that. Like, it's just not like they're not listening. Same with Fauci. Fauci, you go, I think he made the virus. I think he's the sexiest man alive. Okay. And if you don't say he is, you're a Trump supporter. It's like, that's the problem. Don't make me say he's the
vote for
sexiest
Biden.
man
You're
alive.
black. You're not black. Hey.
What is that? Yeah, he said that. Yeah, he did say that too. Biden is like, you don't vote for me, you're not black. Like, see this, you guys, this is where you go the step too far. And you're polarizing the other side.
Man,
and they polarize each other, man.
Yeah,
the other side does it too.
It eats itself, man. And part of me thinks it's like, yeah. Anyways, part of me thinks it's just like basically all social media's fault. I mean, like, yeah, but whatever. Let's move on. Let's move on. Hopefully there's no civil war, but let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up, baby. What else do we have? I mean,
dude, we are ripping through
clips, dude.
That's a lot of clips, dude. I feel like we went through a lot. Do you want to see this? I mean, we ripped on the lefties enough, and just today, two things came in. The Hunter Biden laptop emails, they finally got confirmed. And then also the Russiagate.
What do you mean, Hunter Biden?
So Hunter Biden, remember we did a whole episode on him, Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden.
Of course. Yeah.
Heavy train wreck. Yeah. He basically, they found a laptop of his somewhere. It's got videos of him with prostitutes.
Yeah, the Hunter Biden story. Yeah,
that whole Hunter Biden
Twitter,
story.
was deleting posts about this. Like,
yeah, we're gonna get taken off YouTube for talking shit about this. Maybe I don't know, but anyway, Politico today confirmed, because before they were just trying to confirm that the laptop was his. They found this laptop with all this incriminating evidence of his, and it is a corruption scandal. He basically got himself a job at this energy company.
I remember. Yeah, it's like super. It's super messed up.
Super corrupt. And also on top, like, there is bad things to talk about. On top of that, like, the guy's a train wreck. Like, the guy banged his brother. Like, I mean, we're talking about he's married and then he's like hooking up with his dead brother's wife. And also he's like coke and hookers heavy. Like, he's, I think, crack legit, but definitely coke and hookers, and took videos of it.
Yeah.
He's with the hooker. Like, he takes a video of it. Like,
we get the picture.
He's wild.
Yes.
So I guess last year they came out with this email. They found the laptop, and a lot of people in mainstream media said that it was just Russian disinformation.
Right.
Trying to throw our election.
I remember this.
Right. So Politico just came out with proof, I guess, that the emails were from him, and nothing's gonna happen. This is again, I think, a case of these guys got the cancel consultant. I don't know how he gets away with this, dude.
Wow, dude.
How do they get away with it?
Well, in this case, you get away with it because you're a liberal and you're...
This is like shitting on the... last week we did Jocko. We did a hard rip on Jocko last week, so let's get the liberals this week. It just turned out like that. It just turned out like that.
We hit both sides, dude. What can you say?
We hit both sides, dude.
Sorry.
This Hunter Biden shit, it is crazy. Like, he is the president's son, and he is making millions. And it is technically corruption. Fine, allegedly, whatever. But it is technically corruption. Nobody's reporting on it. The proof comes out this week. Nothing, man.
Well, I like to call it proof. Like, it took that long. It's like this was not exactly contested material. Everyone knew it was real. Everyone knew it was a big con job by the media. I mean, it's like, this is the problem. It's like, if you wonder why trust in media is down, it's this kind of stuff that always screws it up, because big tech companies suppressed weeks ahead. Look at this. Politico reported Tuesday that it had in part confirmed the authenticity of the material. It's like, guys, it didn't take, what has it been, like 8 months, 9 months? Politico's like, who do you got working on this? The sloth from like that animal movie. Do you remember that? Like,
useless.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, with sloth. I love sloths.
No. Do you remember that? Like, it's let me pull it up real quick.
But have you seen Planet Earth sloth? Like the Planet Earth sloth? It's so good. Like, the sloth is so chill, dude. He wakes up, and his whole day is like he finds some food, and then he hears the female sloths when they're horny. They're just like, ah, they just make some noise. So this sloth it's so good. Just Planet Earth. He just wakes up and he's like, and he just makes his way to this girl.
Yeah, dude. Look at this.
So good.
This is Politico. Go ahead and fact checking the Hunter Biden story here.
Yeah, nobody was.
Hey, we know who to put on this for Hunter Biden. All right, we're gonna put this sloth on it. Jeez,
it's the president's son,
6
dude.
Months? What? No, it's actually been more. It's like 10 months, 12 months.
Yeah,
Holy
and it's
crap,
so
dude.
it's so obvious. Like he even says like so he calls his dad the big guy. So the corruption is just so obvious. Like there's like on the thing there's like emails, but I think there's even calls or whatever. But he basically calls them and they go, so okay, we're gonna hire you for $100,000 a year, but the big guy's gonna set up the real deal, right? And he's like, yeah, the big guy knows. Don't worry about it. And he calls his dad the big guy.
Yeah, of course.
So dumb, dude.
Oh my gosh, dude. What is this? What is this other picture you gave me here?
No, that's nothing. Go to the next one. This is so ridiculous.
Is this a real one?
This is from 5 months ago.
Is this real?
He's on Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah.
This can't be real.
It's a real thumbnail. I just pulled a thumbnail of Jimmy Kimmel Live.
But
it's 5 months
like
ago.
Hunter Biden. No. Look at how they did the thumbnail. It's like an endearing picture of the guy.
I know. He's a train.
Look at this thing, dude. You think they would have picked this thumbnail if this is a conservative? Like if this was Don Jr.
and hookers and I cheated on my wife.
Imagine if this was Don Jr. They would have turned his eyes red. They would have taken out a tooth. They would have done. Yeah. Here, Hunter Biden's going, aren't I a lovable guy?
I'm so lovable, dude. Jimmy Kimmel is garbage. I hate the late night show host. Yeah. You want to watch it? Because I think it's just Jimmy Kimmel kissing his ass. And Jimmy Kimmel is such a little bitch now, dude. I can't believe that guy fucking made the Man Show back in the day. He was going to get canceled. This guy is a full 180 from the cancel consultant. He got the cancel consultant first. Gosh. The cancel consultant says they go,
Jimmy,
can you do it? Yeah, you go, can you do it?
Did you see?
Is Jimmy Kimmel on the air tonight?
Did you see?
40 million.
Have you seen his pranks on the Man Show, dude? He's got one where he's like, "You've got to feel what's in my pants" to these women, and he goes, "Get on your knees, feel what's in my pants, bro." This is why he's like the most lefty guy, is because he's got so many skeletons in his closet, dude.
Yeah.
It's wild, dude. His old clips of Jimmy Kimmel, dude, wild.
This guy, in 5 years, we're gonna find out he was assaulting everyone. No, I don't know. I don't know.
We don't know that, but
he doesn't know. Like the guy, like all his stuff is just inappropriate jokes and shit like that from before. But now he's such a hack, though. Like he's so hackery for them.
Did you see these clips from before at the show, the Man Show?
I saw the blackface one. He does just put on blackface on a bunch of them, because that was like a character he did for a while. But did he did like that Sam Pepper level, like pranked, and the prank is like I assaulted you. I grabbed your ass or whatever. I grabbed your ass or whatever. Dude, but Sam Pepper, dude.
No, dude. No.
He's going into the crap.
You haven't seen this?
Oh, God.
Now,
I can't hear it.
I've stuffed something in my pants, and you're allowed to feel around on the outside of the pants. You have 10 seconds to then guess what is in my pants. You ready?
Set.
Go.
It looks like...
You should use two hands. Two hands.
I thought it was like a Red Bull or something.
You think is that your final answer? Wow. Jeez. You're gonna make a fine wife. Before, haven't you? All right.
Right there?
I mean, yeah, just a few more seconds.
Pranked ya!
Pranked ya!
Pranked ya! It's like, bro. And now he's on here being like, yo, Hunter Biden, so tell me about your crack addiction.
He cries, dude. That's what kills me. Is that he cries so many times.
Dude, I can't take
What's
it.
the fucking crying?
I can't take Jimmy, dude. Of all the Late Show people, dude.
He is, yeah.
I feel like he's the biggest snake of them all.
He's so snaky. Like, at least with Colbert, he believes it.
I agree with this. Yeah, I actually agree. Like, I'm like, okay, Stephen Colbert, whatever. He's got his thing, but I think he actually believes in what he's saying.
Yeah.
Whereas you have Jimmy.
This is cancel consultant all the way.
Cancel consultant. Hey, let's watch a little bit of this.
Probably the most famous board member of a Ukrainian energy company of all time. His new memoir
Corruption
is called Beautiful Things. In case you've been wondering where he is, welcome Hunter Biden.
He has a book too, on top of an art career.
This is kind of like having like Hillary Clinton on your show, and like your job as a comedian is to make these people cool. Like that's actually your job. It's like to make them like hip. Like you got to jab them a little bit, but ultimately you're giving them this thumbnail.
Well, you got the thumb. He's so nice. It's like it's the president's son.
Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I have to tell you,
You know what I realized? We're no better than the British media. Like, you know how the British media like fawns over like the
Prince
princes
Albert
and stuff?
Yeah,
bro, they're never
the
gonna hold Prince Andrew accountable. We're like the same. Like, you're the president's son, we just don't care.
He's exactly the same. Like over here, we have the same upper class. It's like the Johnson & Johnson son.
Yeah.
I guess it's so sad that it just ends up happening through capitalism. It's so sad.
Yeah, let's watch.
Yeah.
After reading this book, I'm impressed that you're alive. I really am. It is amazing that you are alive after all the crazy things that you've been through.
It was a It was a journey, but thank God I made it through.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh,
and
he's
a
the
lot
dumb
of
like
the
daddy.
things that you detail happened here in this neighborhood, like right around here.
Yeah.
It was like you were doing crack at the places that I eat.
Yeah. Well, I not intentionally. I wasn't stalking you.
No, I didn't think you were. But, you know, I feel like I learned a lot about crack. And I know that sounds weird, but you hear about it and you see it on TV shows and, you know, in the news every once in a while. But I learned how to I really think I could get it now, thanks to your book.
Well, I hope that wasn't the message that you took from the book.
This is not a how-to manual?
No, it's not a how-to.
Oh. Well, I misread the whole thing then.
It's a please don't manual.
It's a please don't, yes.
Yeah,
no,
please
absolutely.
don't.
Listen, if somebody reads this book and then goes, I should try crack afterwards, well, then they...
No,
yeah.
they didn't finish the book. They
didn't start the book, they didn't finish
What do you think?
the book.
Exactly.
But,
It's just kissing his ass, dude.
Like,
he is dumb like dad.
Right now. The Roosevelt Hotel is right across the street from us. This is where you had, would you call it a bender?
I was at every hotel in Los Angeles, basically.
At least they're admitting it.
Yeah.
Opening with the crack. But you know what they do with these guys?
Sorry. Go ahead.
So you know what they do with these guys? My friend knows the guy who wrote A Million Little Pieces. It's this guy who basically said, I went through this whole drug thing.
Yeah.
Then he goes on Oprah. Then Oprah yelled at him and said, hey, you came on you in the book and you even came on the show and said that you came crack, but you never did crack even. So he literally pretended to be a heroin addict or crack addict so that he could write a book and be like, look how I overcame it. He was like, he just goes one day, he just disappeared for 2 years, comes back with a book, and he's like, I survived crack and I lived to tell about it. And nobody knows. This guy really did the crack.
Yeah,
but it's a similar thing. Like, that's the thing. That's actually the legitimate place to hide if you're him. And a lot of the media uses that. They're like, hey, man, he's been through a lot. He went through a drug addiction.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's actually mad about the crack, though.
No, nobody cares. No, who cares about the crack and the hookers? And you cheated on your wife. You banged
It's the Ukrainian corruption and the fact that
that's what matters.
His dad was writing crime laws to throw everyone who was doing crack in jail while his son basically was immune, and then can openly admit to doing crack on national television and be like,
wow, I never even thought of that angle. I never even thought of that angle.
Dude. Biden was tough on
Biden
crime,
was
tough on drugs, dude.
Biden
Crack it
was,
down, dude.
yeah.
No pun intended. And then
he
all of a
did
sudden
that
his
famous
son's
law.
like 5 years later selling a book about his own crack addiction.
It's so sad.
This guy never spent his. This is what I said, dude. Politicians, they'll never go to jail. If you don't want to go to jail, be a politician, dude. If
but
you
we are ruled by them.
Not go to jail.
Like we call them politicians, but what they are is the upper class of our society. They're like the rich upper class, and they're playing on a different level by different rules. And a big part of their job is controlling and manipulating us. And the better they can do it, the more money they get, the more power they get. But that's what they're doing, and they've done it successfully. His dad basically got him this corrupt job in the Ukraine on an energy company. He has no experience in it.
Big guy.
And big guy. Yeah. It's so sad. And what a waste! What a waste of time and money for American taxpayers and stuff like that.
Let's watch a little bit more.
Have any of the details wrong.
Okay.
You meet some strangers.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, we have a girl you should meet."
Yeah.
They give you her phone number.
Yeah.
You text her
What kind
late
of friends
at
are
night.
that? Yeah, exactly.
She's sleeping.
Yeah.
She's like, "Leave me alone. I'm asleep." The next morning she texts you. You guys have lunch together or something.
Yeah.
In an hour you tell her you love her.
Yeah.
She tells you she loves you.
Yeah.
Then she finds out you are a crack addict.
Well, I tell her.
Yeah.
I mean, within the hour before I told her I loved her, so that she had an out, I told her. I said, "Look, I have a real problem." But it's amazing.
And then you marry her a week later.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Now, if I'm your dad and you tell me this story, I go, "Oh no, oh no, 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 no."
Yeah.
What did your dad
Why
say
are they
when you
clapping
called
for that?
to tell him this?
Well, you know
week
what?
later.
He said, I called him to tell him, and he got on the phone with Melissa, and he said, "I'll tell you the same thing that my mom, my grandmother, said to my now mother when we got remarried." We say we got remarried after my mommy's death. And he said, "I thank you for giving my son the courage to love again."
Wow. Wow. He always says the right thing, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
What? No, he doesn't. That's so stupid. But also,
Okay,
yeah.
So it doesn't he always says the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
So,
The charming president that we all
there's
love.
There's your puff piece. You get out the laundry, dirty laundry. Don't address any of the issues.
Yeah.
Kind of what you get.
Yeah.
It is interesting. This is what there's this long arc of sowing distrust, and this kind of stuff is where it comes from, I believe.
Yeah. And at some point we got to start getting rid of these people. I mean, it does, because America's supposed to not be this. America's not supposed to be the British whatever shit of kings and queens. It's supposed to be everyone's got a fair shot. The problem is that rich people, they just can't help helping their sons. Even if your son has sex with your other son's wife after he dies, cheats on his wife, goes to her, you still say, "That's my son, my idiot son." You just got to keep helping him. I know rich kids around here that my dad for years would tell other dads, "Stop giving your son money. You've ruined him. He is rotten. Cut it. Just get him out." They can't do it, dude.
Gosh. Yeah,
We have this guy came over, this uncle came over, and he goes, "My son, I gotta give him another 40,000. And it's after he's given millions, and the son takes it. The son has hit him, called the cops on him, just openly posts on Facebook, "Anyone come after my dad, I'll kill you." Just weird shit, embarrassing his dad. His dad's a great businessman, millionaire, and he just said, "I don't know how to control my son. What do I do?"
Yeah.
They just can't do it. It's such a
but
disaster.
They can't, you're right. They can't help but basically be like, "Oh, my kid's not going to jail for crack. I'll throw everybody else." But that's the most insulting part is dude, Joe Biden's out there being "Hey, dude, if you do crack, you're going to jail, dude."
Yeah. And dude, if you had let him go to jail, he probably would have fixed his life, and he'd probably have a happy, more fulfilling life.
Right, dude. Right.
Just let him go to jail. If my kid did crack, I'd be like, "Dude, okay." I'd make sure it's not you get R-worded jail. I'd check on that. I'd be like, "Okay, is it maximum security? They're gonna kill." No, okay, so he has to sit in a place for 4 years. Okay, fine. You're in jail. Watch Netflix. Get a degree. you shouldn't have done crack. And not because of doing crack, but because of the corruption thing. Really, he should go to jail for crack. Yeah, like let your kid go to rehab and fix their life, man. If some people can't do it, dude, the guy, like some people will literally give their kids money for crack because the kid's just like, I hate you.
Nuts. Let's I think that's good on that story though.
Wrap it. Yeah. Let's wrap it. It kind of it does go into, I mean, I'm good to go too, but this is an interesting last one if you want to do it. The Hillary lawyers. It's so silly, dude. I mean, look at this guy. He looks like such a magical
Sure, let's cover what's going on with Hillary. I haven't seen
character.
Any of this.
So this also happened this week.
A lot going
this
on
guy so basically the whole Russiagate thing, and we've talked about this before on the show, where like Russiagate just did seem like such a fake thing, like it wasn't real, like it was like basically, okay, Russiagate, my interpretation of it was Hillary Clinton lost, it sucks, so someone found some little incriminating thing about Donald Trump. They didn't really have a case. Yeah. But they said, let's just attack him and we'll take him down and whatever. With this Russiagate conspiracy, which is now a proven conspiracy theory that Trump was colluding with the Russians. He was never colluding with the Russians. But they made this whole conspiracy theory. They tried to impeach him. Didn't really work out. In the end, what does it do? It hurts your own credibility, I feel like. But basically, I thought, and it seemed to both of us, I think, that like, you know, the fact that they tampered, like that's it. Like they did this thing. They tried to get Russia. They tried to get Trump in like impeached or whatever, and they made up nonsense bogus charges. But now, a Clinton-linked lawyer is being charged for lying in the Trump-Russia origins probe. So someone's actually going to suffer for it. I think it's great news. It's weird. Also, it's like this episode we're seeing. Okay, on the one hand, there is the cancer consultant, and that sucks for that the rich people have that now. But on the other hand, you are seeing some chickens come home to roost. Hunter Biden, we have proof of the emails. Is anything going to happen? Probably not. I don't know. This Russiagate nonsense, this is very interesting. I mean, one of the lawyers is being indicted, basically. Like one of the lawyers who worked on it is being indicted by this special counsel. So it's exciting.
Let's watch.
This morning, the special counsel appointed by former President Trump's Justice Department to investigate the Russia investigation, John Durham, has now charged a prominent Democratic lawyer. Ken Delanian is all over this story. Ken, this one's confusing. Explain it. Who was charged and with what?
Good morning, Steph. Michael Sussman is a former federal prosecutor and prominent cybersecurity lawyer who represented the Democrats, including the Hillary Clinton campaign. About 5 years ago, he met with a top FBI lawyer to pass along internet data that some researchers believed could show a secret communications channel between the Trump organization and a major Russian bank. Now, the FBI investigated and debunked this theory, but now John Durham, the special counsel appointed by Trump Attorney General William Barr, has secured an indictment against Sussman on a single felony count of lying to the FBI. Prosecutors say Sussman told the FBI lawyer that he was not at the meeting on behalf of a client, when in fact he was representing both the Clinton campaign and a Trump-opposing technology executive.
Wow, so he just told the FBI, well, I'm just here to tell a tip. I just want to do my American duty.
Yeah.
When in actuality, he's representing the Clintons.
100%, dude.
Right.
I mean, this is some high level political maneuvering that they're trying to do.
Yeah, high level.
And they must suffer for it. The Clintons, this again. So you think Hillary Clinton?
You know what Sussman's fault was though?
Suffers. Yeah.
He's like a fall guy. Sussman's like you think you're the powerful guy in the politics, but you're actually just the fall guy sometimes. Like, if you're like the bottom chicken, and there's a bunch of more powerful chickens above you. I don't know why this became a chicken analogy, but you're gonna
it is a Game of Thrones.
Everything. Yeah.
It is a House of Cards. It is a Game of Thrones. So with Hillary, like you look at someone like Kamala, like, okay, so with Hillary, it's basically like she got to be she was the wife during the best Democratic presidency of all time.
Yeah.
And the whole time, apparently, Bill Clinton was assaulting people sexually, whatever. None of it came out at the time. Everyone was like obsessed with him. Everyone thought he was so cool. They spun it. She worked on the media PR campaign to be like, spin it into like, he's slick Willie. They love him. So it's almost like, and this is what I mean by the suffering always comes back. Then Hillary, like, it's almost like Bill Clinton did what he did. Politically, it's even worse. but everyone loved him. 8 years, he won 2 terms. Everyone loved him. People don't know this, but I saw this in so many documentaries. He was just a dumb, pretty face. He was a dumb, pretty face. He's banging all these people. Who's doing the work? Apparently, it was Hillary Clinton. She's in the back. She's doing shit. She's telling people what to do. They're trying to get like, oh, the president said we have to do, and she'll come in and she'll be like, no, you deal with me. She was the president, you could say. All that covering up that she did for him. And you want Bill Clinton to go to jail for it or whatever. I get it. But in the end, think of the suffering that she has to go through. She covered for him, but it's almost like she got all the vitriol when she tried to run for president. And then she was so caught up in trying to be the president.
So hated. Yeah, nobody likes her.
No one likes her, and everyone loves Bill Clinton to this day. Nobody ever started hating Bill Clinton.
It's so weird.
Bill Clinton did all the fucked up shit. Hillary, what did she do? She was unlikable?
No.
And everyone's like,
she's got tons of skeletons in her closet. No.
No, but her skeletons were, a lot of it was covering for Bill Clinton. But also, yeah, no, she's been an evil, like, politician from day one. Just taking money.
It is weird
like,
that Bill Clinton is, like, still, like, for a lot of people, an icon.
Dude, you go, okay, so there's old, I got to find these, but there's old Democratic National Conventions where he goes to give the speech. Because, you know, Democratic National Convention, that's like Woodstock for these guys. They go crazy. Yeah. Bill Clinton they go, and welcome Bill Clinton.
Yeah, this is Trump National Convention. This is like, when Trump was running against her, they introduced him. Go ahead.
So not when Trump was running against him, against her, but for after he won, he was the president for 8 years.
Yeah.
Every next election, he would just go to give a speech.
Yeah.
And he was like a headliner, basically. They would call him. The first time they did, they called him up, dude. They're going crazy. Standing ovation. Because it's George W. Bush. He comes in, he goes, sit down, y'all. I'm going to be late. Oh, come on now. Sit down, y'all. Dude, 10 minutes. They cut to the audience. It's just, there's like people old crying, people, whatever. But there's people crying. There's like smoke shows too. There's just hotties staring at him. So Bill Clinton not only, and even if you watch the documentaries about him becoming president, they're all like, it's like it was too easy for him that he would just keep having an affair so that to make it more challenging. Like that's what they said in the documentary. He would be they were like, we were killing it. The hardest part of the job was George Stephanopoulos, the head anchor of ABC News. He's in the documentary. He was like the campaign manager. So George Stephanopoulos in this documentary, he's calling women. Women are calling them, being like, "I need to get an abortion." Bill Clinton said he loves me, and then like he like just all kinds of shit. George Stephanopoulos on the phone. He goes, "Baby, who's gonna believe this? I'll pay for the abortion, and that's all you're gonna get." And that's it. He's a great man, and watch your mouth. Dude, that's what George Stephanopoulos did. He's on the. It's called. You know the documentary. It's called War Room, I think. And it's got James Carville as the campaign. He's the main campaign guy. That's the guy who won the election. Wow, dude. This guy was a dumb from day one.
Unbelievable.
They just show the whole team around him. Hillary's running it, but then James Carville.
I don't think he's dumb. I think Bill Clinton's in a lot of things. I don't think he's dumb.
He's out banging.
Have you heard him talk? He's not dumb.
He's smooth. That's what he is. He's a talker. He can talk. He's doing he did all the deals with the Republicans.
Fair enough. He's a talker. Yeah, that's
he did all the reach across but all the paperwork shit, Hillary's doing that. She had to do it all through his election. Funny. Covering his ass. This Monica Lewinsky shit comes out. They spin the story like, oh, Bill's so smooth. All the ladies love him. All this shit. They spin it. But the sins must be suffered. And then she goes to run. It's like, boo! Like they hate her.
Yeah, dude. Everyone hates her.
She was doing it all the whole time. It's so sad. And then so not only they hate her, but then she's so caught up in this game that after she loses, then they start this fucking Trump shit. It's like, guys.
Well, I'm glad to see somebody's getting in trouble for it. It's not going to be who deserves it probably, but at least somebody's getting indicted on this. We'll see if it sticks.
This Prince Andrew. There is some light on this episode.
Yeah, there's some light at the end of the tunnel, boys. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
And that is
the drip.
Dude. Thank you guys for participating in the first watching. If you got this far, what should we have them comment, Amish? Special comment, just so you know.
Just so you know. This one came to the end.
Hey, what did they comment?
Say I got the nut.
Okay.
Put that. I got the nut.
Sure. Okay, comment that. Comment. I got the nut.
You say to the end.
If you got through to the end, you got it, dude. You got it. Hey, thank you for watching, boys. Let us know in the comments what you think of the new format.
Yeah.
We will see you guys in the next one.
See you in the next one. Peace.